Good morning and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. As you guys come into the room, please do hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I hope that you guys are doing okay on this morning. I know that I am. I always express the importance of hitting the like button because the like button helps to keep the video on the algorithm, okay? So like, share, subscribe, comment, all of those great things, okay? I wanted to jump on right quick before. I know I haven't been I've been doing like one live a day. I haven't been really uploading a whole lot of videos. That's because I have been crazy busy. And then when I do get home, I fall out and I got to get out now to go do some more things to finish up some stuff. But I wanted to talk about a man that was taken out by the Shelby County sheriff's deputies. Of course, Shelby County sits inside of Memphis. That's out in the county. Was it justified? Okay. And I've been looking at TBI. Of course, TBI was out there. And whenever there is an officer, a law enforcement, any type of law enforcement is involved in a shooting, it has been happening since the beginning of time. TBI always has to come out to see if it was justified, and that's just for political reasons, lawsuits and things of that nature, so that they can conduct a investigation. TBI is supposedly, or if it was New Orleans, it would be NBI. No, it would be LBI, Louisiana. Each city has their own agency as it relates to the branches of the FBI in their own city, right? And TBI is just right, in downtown Memphis, of course, in the federal building. But of course, they came out, and I was listening to the young lady talk about one of the spokespersons for TBI talk about them coming out. Of course, like I said, that always happens. Since I can remember, that has been happening. I wanted to pull up what she said, but there were a lot of people out there, and I'm gonna speak my piece on this, okay? First of all, I hate this happened, to the young man. Hold on. Oh Lord. Wait, God damn it. I don't want to hear that. Okay. Because they'll be trying to. I hate when these phones and stuff do that. Hold on one second. Y'all excuse my French. But y'all used to me by now, okay? Hold on. I'm trying to pull it up. I want you all to hear what the spokesperson for TBI actually said. If I can find it. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, this was actually yesterday, and I had planned to do a video on it yesterday, but I didn't get the opportunity to. Hold on.
After the Shelby County Sheriff's Office says they tried to pull over a man wanted on multiple warrants this morning, leading to a crash and him opening fire. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Stephanie Skurlock. Greg is off tonight. Deputies say they shot back, striking and killing him. WREG has multiple reporters digging deeper today. Our chief investigator, Jessica Gertler, joins us live. And Jessica, what have you found out about what happened? Well, the TBI just released the man's identity, John Beatty. They tell us that he died at the scene, and they also say that no deputies were injured. Now, the Shelby County Sheriff's Office says that these deputies were placed on administrative leave pending the outcome of this investigation. Now, Steph, we've been piecing together this story through multiple press releases, statements, interviews, and warrants. A WREG viewer's video captured the aftermath of a deputy chase around 8 this morning. You can see a delivery van rammed into the side of New Allen Road. Feet away from it, the car that hit it crushed into a pole, still smoking. According to reports from the scene, the driver exited the vehicle and began firing a weapon, resulting in three deputies returning fire, fatally wounding the individual. The TPI was called in to investigate and told us multiple times this morning Shelby County deputies had tried to stop the man, Jonathan Beatty, wanted on warrants out of Memphis and Germantown. Germantown police stated they were looking for Beatty, connected to an ongoing domestic situation. They stated he fired shots near a home on Riverdale Road Tuesday, then came back early this morning and opened fire again, this time striking a woman in her arm. Germantown police sent out Beatty's picture early this morning, warning the public he was armed and had made threats against law enforcement. I didn't hear gunshots, but I sure heard the ambulance in the middle of the night. A neighbor says she's pretty sure she's seen Beatty before. I truly believe that I saw that man looking at the, holiday lights down the road within the week in the middle of the night, and it's very, very scary. WREG investigators also uncovered Beatty is wanted for harassment. The warrant issued Monday. On Tuesday, Memphis police posted this city watch for him, citing he was diagnosed with a mental illness, which requires medication. MPD canceled the city watch this morning. We went to Beatty's Cordova address listed on the warrant. No one was home, but we saw 2 deputies in the area. At this time, this investigation remains active and ongoing. TBI agents are working to independently determine the series of events leading to the shooting. The TBI says it will review evidence and talk to everyone involved and then hand over its findings to the district attorney's office. No word on how long that will take.
Okay. So there were quite a few people out there on the scene, and you hear them say it's an ongoing investigation. There were witnesses. Of course, they had on video cameras. Of course, the officers have to wear a video now to record when they're on the scenes, and they have them on their windshield, and of course on their person. And hey, the young man, I hate that this happened. He was only 31 years old. But what people need to understand is you become an immediate threat to a police officer when folks say, well, we don't know if he was going to shoot him or not. That's not the point. The point is he had a weapon, and police officers are trained to eliminate the threat. I know people don't want to hear that, because most people that have issues with police officers, because as I always say, all police officers are not the same. Police officers are needed, because people want to commit hits and pay for hits and write bad checks and get credit cards in other people's names. They want to scam. They want to stalk. They want to do all that shit. And they know that the folks going to come and get them. So they hate anybody that's going to stop them from violating any violations of any sort. So, a lot of people have issues with the police because they want to be able to put your kids in human trafficking and walk up into your house and sexually violate you or stalk you, sit outside your house, and they don't want the police to come and do nothing. Okay. So people like that have issues with the police, but the truth of the matter is the police officers are, when you become an immediate threat to them, they have to eliminate the threat. That's the reason why they say, show me your hands and drop the weapon. And whether he was going to fire the weapon or not, he had a weapon in his hand. Okay. And I'm hearing Ben Crump on his way to Memphis. I'm so damn tired of Ben Crump pimping Memphis. Okay. Ben Crump, Ben Crump, I can appreciate African-American man that's a lawyer. But at this point, Ben Crump, and I'm not saying he has not done good things, but at this point, Ben Crump is just pimping a lot of people because every time there's a police shooting, whether it was justified or not, Ben Crump is on a plane. Okay. So what I found out about Ben Crump is, even though it says that the Ben Crump law firm, Ben Crump, is financed by Jewish lawyers. Okay. That's what I found out about Ben Crump, and that's not hearsay. That's a fact. Okay. So basically what they're doing is they are using him, the black face, to really destroy the black community, because in a lot of instances, because Ben Crump is on a plane to any city, whether the criminals are right or wrong. When the criminals are in the right, that's one thing. But when they're in the wrong, he's on a plane too. Okay. And so, that's an oxymoron. Ben Crump is a highly intelligent man, very sophisticated. So he comes from the hood. So I know he knows, but it becomes very disappointing when it's strictly money motivated. Okay. I know a lot of people gonna say, well, you just like them police. F you. Okay. Because I done told you that we got to have the damn police. And yes, I do. I rocks with the police. I went through the academy. I worked for the police department for 20 years. Okay. I still do investigative work. So absolutely, I do. I rock with them when they're right. Okay. I don't rock with them when they're wrong. When they're wrong, I'm going to say, no, that's not cool. And let me just say this, because I think about when I was a traffic officer. Okay. And we were out in traffic, and I was riding with a lot of male whites, who a lot of times that was their first jobs. They was very young, like 21, very, very young. Okay. They come from suburban areas, a little small towns. I always had dreams of being police officers, but they grew up in racist homes, and that's all they knew. And so when I started working for the police department, hell, especially when I went through the academy and became a traffic officer, became a P1, I was already about 26 years old. I had 2 kids, right? So, I was a lot more mature than them. And a lot of them, and so I did have the opportunity to see how them coming out of the backwoods and coming out of racist homes, how prejudiced they could be, and so they did not take a thrill or any kind of liking to sitting in the car with a black girl who would tell them, well, wait a minute, we just did an accident, and we was just in the South Memphis area, which is the area I grew up in, and you gave this person a ticket. You charged them, right? They may have had insurance, but they didn't have their insurance card. You charged them, and I let you make it, because that's what you're supposed to do, but it was at our discretion. But now that we're out in Shelby County around the suburban areas, we make the scene of an accident of a Caucasian woman, and she goes, oh, well, I got insurance, but I don't have my car. Oh, well, we're not going to charge you with that. Oh, yes, you are. Yes, you are. Or we're not going to do it like that. If you want to keep that energy when we're in South Memphis, you're going to keep the same energy when we're in Shelby County, because oftentimes I was the senior officer. Okay. I was the senior traffic officer. And so it would always be at my discretion, mainly, even though I would always let the junior officer or the junior P1 make their own decisions. Right. Because they would handle all of, especially if they were in training, I would let them handle all of the traffic, but accidents, so that they could get the experience. But if we started out, because we would be all over the city, started out in the suburban areas, and their energy was different, and then when we got to South Memphis or North Memphis and their energy tried to change, I would always correct that. I was never one that would go along to get along. So I do understand that. So my point is, I stand on the side of what's right. Okay. And what's wrong is, running and going 80 miles an hour and injuring a woman, all because you want to go pop up your girlfriend because you're mad at her, and pop her in the arm, and they got a city watch for you, because then you come back, you popping up the neighborhood where you can take somebody out, and then putting into the atmosphere, if the police try to get me, I'm going to unalive them. So, I mean, it's obvious that there was some type of mental illness. And then when you go 80 miles an hour, you hit a pole, which you could have took yourself out, but you injure a woman instead of pulling over, complying, and going to jail. You jump out the car, point a gun at the folks, and then they hit you. Right? I can't understand the logic in people, you know, wanting to side with something like that. I don't. But then I think the thing that gets me is how people, you know, get mad at what the police do. And I'm talking about even some of these so-called activists. Now, a lot of the activists I really rock with, you know, because like Cassio and all of them, Cassio and I talk all, you know, me and Cassio and I are super, super cool. Okay. We, you know, we rocks. Okay. So I'm not talking about people like him because Cassio and them are stand-up guys, but I'm talking about people who will sit up and say, well, we gotta talk about what the police doing. Nigga, why you ain't talking about all this black on black crime? How come you ain't getting into this mess with all of this black on black crime where these young men are getting into these gangs and taking each other out and just looking at each other and considering it a honor to have bodies, which are human beings, and ain't nobody telling them, nigga, you wrong, you sick. We got to listen. This ain't that. I don't hear nobody saying nothing about that because they want crash dummies so that they can use them and send them out and ruin their lives, right? Okay, so if we can get an energy going when nobody respects the police, we can continue to jump on YouTube and we could scream this, and that, but in the background, you know, we helping to snatch up little girls and put them in human trafficking and getting people's social security numbers and getting credit cards and then having little groups and stuff that the FBI is in and sell their information. Yeah, we want a lawless society, and you motherfuckers is old as dirt. And you wonder why you failing your kids. A lot of your failures, if you scamming, if you out here doing all that, you a failure to your damn kids. And then have the nerve to sit up because you're going to jail. You's a failure because the folks watching you. You taking your ass to jail. How you gonna be some good to your kids and you got your ass in jail on some federal time? You's a failure. And your kids watching you. So now your kids are out there fending for themselves. Right? And so I can't understand how people with children can get on here and promote, well, you know, I ain't got nothing to do with that. That's street stuff. Wait a minute, these boys killing each other, that's street stuff. But then you'll jump on your platform and talk about scream on your rooftop, the police says took somebody's out. You know, I don't understand. And I always say, because I was always taught that, you know, I don't know, I guess because I've always, you know, I was raised around soldiers. So I just always held, especially black men, to a higher standard. Because I understand the history behind the brilliance and the greatness of our ancestors that were black men. And these black men come from that, whether they were born in Africa or not. And then this is what they do. Okay, so it is, as a black woman, it's hurtful. It is. It's very disappointing. But they get mad at me because I get on here and I let it roll. I let it rip. Okay. But was it justified? Yeah, you know, TBI. I ain't heard nobody say it, but I can almost assure somebody gonna say it had something to do with Dolph. I'm telling you, you know, TBI was out there because of Dolph. No, TBI makes every scene of every police shooting. It's been happening now since the beginning of time. I know since, you know, I started at the police department in 2000. It's been happening since then. And so those officers that I know that was on before, way before me, they said it was happening during their time too. So it ain't nothing that just started. You know, that man, they say he got a mental illness. Well, wait, why they do that? Because he had a mental illness. They don't know what he got. All they know is he was an immediate threat to them, just like any civilian, any person on the street, if they got a weapon and somebody pointing a gun at them, they're going to do whatever they can to protect themselves. That includes in eliminating the threat. Okay. Police officers are still human beings, right? But I hate that this happened, so it ain't nothing about TBI investigating. That's just normal protocol. Ain't nothing going to happen because there are witnesses that's saying that they got witnesses that's saying that the man pointed the gun at the officers. They got the video. Okay. Well, they edited that video. You can't edit no video and make nobody point no gun at you. Okay. This man, the reason they had a city watch out for him is because he had exuded violent behavior. I don't know if he was off his meds or what, but he had already hit a woman. I believe it was his girlfriend. He had already went back to the neighborhood, shooting up popping his gun. Could have hit somebody innocent in the neighborhood because he had flipped out, right? And said, according to witnesses, that if the police stopped him, he was going to do them the same way. That's why he got out pointing that gun. Okay. But anyways, you guys, hey, it's been on fire in Memphis, and you know what's so sad about it? I've been out in the streets of Memphis all day, every day, just like I'm getting ready to do right now. And you have to, like anywhere, because Memphis, people talk about Memphis, okay, but I'm getting ready to pull up the murder capital right now in the United States. And what's this, 2023? I know I'm so stressed out and overworked. St. Louis, Missouri is the murder capital right now in 2023. They have way more stuff going on. I got family in Kansas City, Missouri, and in Kansas City, Kansas. Okay. And they talk about how terrible it is. When I be talking about, they be looking at my vlogs and stuff, and I posted, they comment on, when they comment on Facebook, they go, "Cuz it's way worse here." I got family in Indiana, okay, and in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Oh my God, they talk about, cuz you ain't seen nothing. But see, the difference is Memphis is very vocal about what goes on in their city. Most cities like to try and keep what they got going on quiet. A lot of times, they'll say, well, it ain't violent crime. It's this right here. They have little systems to try and manipulate stuff. They try and put different crimes up under certain categories to try and hide what's going on, because they don't want to be embarrassed. But fortunately, hey, for Memphis, I'm glad that it is out, because it forces the people to do something, to try to at least do something right. But anyways, you guys, I hate that happened, but this is the second time in the same week that they've shot at the police. There was another young man in the Westwood area. They said going 100 miles an hour, jump up while he was going 100 miles per hour. Young dude put his head out the car like Batman and Robin or something. Arm to the side and start shooting at the police. They going so fast they hit a pedestrian, a woman, a pedestrian, because they swerving. And can you imagine a car hitting somebody going 100 miles an hour? The person died. That was this week. So something has to be done. So Ben Crump coming to Memphis, he needs to use his influence also to talk about Black on Black crime. He's he's well-known attorney, successful. Okay, them Jewish people that he's working for, we need to hold their feet to the fire, because they control him, so he can only do what they say do. They need to care more about the Black community. They owe the community that is making them rich. Okay. Anyways, y'all know I could get into that. Okay, but we'll talk about that another time. Okay, but I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you can definitely support the channel via Cash App. I want to tell you guys I appreciate the people that have given. I got upward of like $600 and something, and trust me, I've been going and getting bonnets and a lot of the stuff that they said that they needed, like deodorant. I've been looking for everything. They wanted jogging suits. We weren't able to do that, but I'm tell you what I did do. Okay, I reached out to some of my dad business partners, and I did get one of actually there's a sponsor of mine to agree to write a check. Okay, I'm gonna call another one when they write that check. It's gonna be the Memphis Police Association. Okay, when they write that check out, and I'm sure that they will, we'll be able to go and get jogging suits for everybody because it's 100 and I think 143 people there. I had no idea that nursing home was that big, but hey, God had me to choose it for a reason, right? But anyways, you guys, I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you could definitely support the channel via Cash App. Okay, I love you guys. I'll speak with you later.